Hello everybody, what's happening? My name's Neil, welcome along to Midlife Motors, and a little bit of a strange video today because by the time this goes out, this car will no longer be with us, and hopefully you'll have seen the video of what and how it was replaced. I'll put the link up shortly. I thought it would be a good time though before it disappears because it's 5 years old. It's worked great for us over the last 5 years, clocked over 20,000 miles, I think getting close to 25,000 miles now. And I thought we'd just have a look at the good, the bad, inside and out, talk about the performance, because it will be missed. Let's start on the outside here, because I think the Polo has developed into a nice looking car. Actually, I know it's had a facelift in the last year, but I think this Mark 6 is quite a nice. I don't think the facelift pulls itself off quite as well, but it's a good looking car with all the red little accents and everything like that. Really stands out, and in this color stands out, but it's discreet enough that you can just go about your business, which is good. So well, that's a good thing. I'll point out some other good things and a few bad things as we go. I've noticed over the years this car's not had a particularly hard life. It's Mrs. Midlife Motors' everyday car. So it doesn't belt up and down motorways gathering lots of stone chips, and this car doesn't have an awful lot of stone chips on it, which is a good start. Windscreen's been fine, it's not been chipped or anything either, so that's quite good. When you wash it, when you polish it, always comes up well. This has been detailed. It's had the dual action polisher on it, and not really gained too many swirl marks, but the ones that have come out really easily. Now, a couple of things I've spotted as time goes by and things happen. First one's here, down on the headlight here. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. It's only just on this headlight, and I've only noticed it recently, but it's just starting to delaminate the glass on the inside from the inside out. So you'd have to watch that if you're looking at these. The wheels that I mentioned, these diamond cut wheels that seem to afflict pretty much every Volkswagen diamond cut wheel. I mean, look at this one's particularly bad. We never got round to fixing these. We were going to do it after the winter, but it never got done. The new tires, as soon as you can get off those Bridgestone Turanzas, the better. The new tires working well. These are the Toyos. A lot of people go for the Michelins, which seem to work well on the car too. The other thing that's not so good, the rubbers around the sunroof, they've stayed perfect, absolutely spot on. I've seen some Golfs with the panoramic roof, and these rubbers have sort of started to peel away with the sun. Hasn't happened on this car, and this sits outside all the time. But around the windows, the rubbers around the windows now, we've treated these as much as we possibly can to try and get them back to some sort of black. And we've done it quite recently because we spruced the car up to get the best trade-in value that we could. But you'll see this is where it seems to be worse. Down along here, these rubbers are quite bad. Now, if you can compare it to my daily driver, which is just a cheap and cheerful Corolla, the rubbers on that are absolutely perfect. But these sort of like, crikey, they look a bit chewing gumming. I don't know what the right word for that is, but that's been a little bit annoying. Can't really think of anything else that's bad though. The exhaust tips, I mean, they've only been wiped, maybe polished a couple of times, still look great. The brake calipers, the red paint on the brake calipers, still pretty good, pretty resplendent in all their color. So on the outside, it's wearing its age and its miles really well. Couple of little things, but easily fixed, I think. We have to look under here because I think this is one of the best features of this car is the drive. The engine in the gearbox in this car, absolutely superb, particularly if you want to take it for a spirited drive. The way this thing with it's got 200 horsepower thereabouts, 240 pound-foot of torque, and the way that this thing fires out of low speed corners, like third gear corners, the way it just fires out, it finds grip and it just fires out of them at a rate this car should not be going. Trust me, try one of these and you'll be shocked. Not the 0 to 60s, it's okay, but it's not this car's main point. Firing out of low speed corners and just the pull in third, fourth and fifth, absolutely superb. Very flexible engine, and despite all that, on a cruise you'll easily get over 40 the gallon, probably nearer 45. Yeah, this is a good setup. Smooth, quiet, it's been faultlessly reliable, very good. Before I jump inside, just a quick overview of how the car, well, it hasn't really worn. I mean, it still looks immaculate. The steering wheel, the gear shift gaiter, the seats. I mean, look at the driver's bolster. It's absolutely, there's no mark on it whatsoever. These suede seats have lasted really well. I mean, there's no wear inside this car at all. Don't get me wrong, the back seats haven't really been used, but they're more or less the same. And the panoramic sunroof is just fantastic. All in all, it's It's the way they've done this has been absolutely lovely, and there's lots of nice little touches, a bit of aluminium on the steering wheel, on the pedals, on the door plate there. Yeah, I mean, this is more or less the way it was when it came out of the factory. On the inside, really, the first thing we've got to look at is this superb digital dash and infotainment system. I've got it set. I was the last one to drive the car. I've got it set up. I like the gauges up, and this is all your boost gauge and performance monitor. That's what I'm trying to say. But you can configure this any way, shape, or form you want. Connects with your phone, really easy. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, really easy to use. The modes on the screen, really easy to change. I think if you want to find where you're going, obviously a lot of people prefer that one for day-to-day driving. But yeah, just really good. Lovely steering wheel, nicely trimmed in leather, and I like the little bit of red stitching. Again, none of this is particularly worn. Similarly with the gear shift down here, this is all still perfect. Good old-fashioned buttons for your heating control, which is spot on. Your heated seats as well, so none of that trying to get into the menu. And to turn the media on, to turn your stereo on, there is a button. I've just switched it off, obviously, but to switch it on, there's a button, and you can turn it up and turn it down with a simple knob. So all that is really good. Looking around the car, we preferred these, I don't know if they're upgraded seats, but we weren't so keen on the checkered look. I don't think it suits the Polo as well it does the Golf. This car's got the winter pack in it as well, so therefore it's got the heated seats, the slightly uprated seats, and the grey trim on the dash rather than the red. But good size. You are a little bit limited for room in the back. You can carry a couple of adults, but I'm not sure they'd want to be in there for a long time. But up front here, plenty of space. Really not much smaller than a Golf on up front, I would say. I think the extra space is probably in the rear of the car. I've nothing to report here. Nothing's worn, nothing's damaged. Everything has been fine. Not a bad stereo, not brilliant, but not a bad stereo. That's probably the one thing I could criticize. The speakers, you might want to look into upgrading that. They're starting to show their age. It's turned out to be a decent sized boot in this car. Obviously you can see you can put the seats down, but most of the time the dog's in here. It's the only other occupant of the car, if you like. Just remove the parcel shelf and she's got plenty of space. Millie's not tiny, but plenty of room in there for her. Nothing, like I say, nothing in here's got worn either. It's stood the test of time also. Yeah, very usable boot space. Only drawback with this one is it doesn't have a rear view camera. You've got parking sensors front and rear, and the beeps are pretty accurate. But on the fancier ones, the VW badge will pop up and you've got a rear view camera as well. So if you're looking at one of these, maybe worth seeing if that option's been spec'd. I think it was quite expensive. I think it was about £500. So it's not common on a Polo. There we go. That's our update, the car that's served us well for the last 3 years. If you see this and you become the owner of FH19, then please get in touch with us below. I can assure you there's nothing this car is hiding, no faults whatsoever. You'll be more than happy with it. How would I summarize it? Perfect daily car. I mean, if you don't need the space, I don't know why you'd pay the extra for a Golf GTI. This has got the same performance and I think looks better. One thing I would say though is it's a great car, but it's just not got any personality. It's just not, apart from the way it fires out of low speed corners, there's nothing else that, it doesn't seem to do it with a smile on its face. Does that make sense? It just goes about it in a very methodical way. It's not a car that gets under your skin. It's not a car that I don't really want to take it for a particular drive. You know, it's not, I don't think, oh, the sun's out, I'm going to take it, the Polo. If I'm going somewhere and I'm taking the Polo, I'm more than happy. It's a freaking great car. Value for money, absolutely superb. Faultlessly reliable. Get one bought. Thanks very much for watching. Please give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And if you could hit subscribe as well, please. I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye. Bye-bye, car.